on this note of mindfulness, which is, essentially a synonym to the word presence. And I think this is something that people, because it's such a thing now, people hear it and they become a bit dismissive of it. They don't quite take to heart how powerfully this can transform your experience of life. And I think that when it comes to feeling happy, or at least, let's say, not feeling unhappy, sometimes intensifying one's presence to this moment can solve a lot of imaginary problems. And it can really just, what I feel like is that it anchors me to in a peaceful state. And this peace, as you've talked about in various books, peacefulness can be something that you are anchored in while painful emotions pass, while there's a storm of unpleasant emotions. There can be an underlying peace to that, which I access by practicing presence in this moment and just wholeheartedly, radically anchoring myself to this moment.
I
So,
would agree. I would
mm,
agree. The two major premises in my work, and I mean today it's become a thing, of course, in the present moment. Ram Dass wrote "Be Here Now," but even before I was teaching, I've focused much on that. Eckhart Tolle, his book "Power of Now," and other people too. We hear it. It's like a bumper sticker
mm,
slogan now. It's
right.
oh yeah, living in the present. Well, the paradox is we no one can actually grasp the present moment. How do you grasp a nanosecond?
Mm,
What is the present moment? When teachers like myself and others recommend focusing on the present, we're really saying handle what's in front of you right now and now and now,
mhm,
because it quiets the mind. We can't think about anything in the present moment. All we have is pure awareness. If we're thinking about anything, we are thinking about something we call the future
mm,
or something in what we call the past.
mhm,
But in the present moment, it's like why we like to play frisbee or play sports or play a musical instrument or act in the moment or perform, because it pulls us back into that absorption in the present moment. And there's a kind of bliss, a peace there, as you just said.
mhm,
So, and I learned that lesson as a young athlete in gymnastics. You really, when you're flying around the high bar, you don't think about what you did early that day or what you plan on doing later. You are absolutely, it's the present moment or die. So that's actually a beginner's practice because you're forced to do it. But when you're just sitting, as in meditation, or sitting quietly or waiting in line somewhere, which many of us do today, um, that's the advanced practice,
right.
to stay present and interested. I always look at people, and sometimes it's an interesting practice, like on the subway here in New York City, uh, looking at people and wondering what they were like as children. And it changes your whole view of them.
Mhm,
It's not what they look like anymore. It's like they were a little child once. Uh, so it's a way of bringing attention back to the present moment.
yes.
And there's a story I tell sometimes. I'm in the gymnasium when I was recovering from a shattered leg. I write about in Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and I did shatter my leg in about 40 pieces. And as I was on the recovery stage of that serious injury, um, I was practicing, getting back into shape and doing. I did a full twisting double somersault off the horizontal bar for a dismount, and I stuck my landing. Kind of went yes. And then I ripped off my sweatshirt, threw it in my workout bag. Um, Socrates was watching all this. We were the only ones in the gym at the time. It was the evening. And as we were walking down the hallway, he turned to me and said, Dan, that last move you did was really sloppy. And I went, what are you talking about, Socrates? It was the best dismount I've done in weeks. And he said, oh, I'm not talking about the dismount from the high bar. I'm talking about the way you took off your sweatshirt
Mm,
and put it in your bag. And he reminded me once again that I was treating one moment as special and another moment as ordinary.
mm,
And that's when he said, once again, that iconic phrase, there are no ordinary moments. And when we actually can live that, not every moment, that sounds like a compulsive, crazy making thing where every moment I have to be completely aware in the present moment. No, we need to space out, take naps, zone out, play a video game, whatever. But in those, during our day, the more we're able to remember this moment counts for something, that the quality of our moments make the quality of our life.
Yes.
Um, and he added one thing to that, which is another radical thing that I teach. He said, Dan, the difference between you and me, I got this line into the movie, by the way. I wasn't the screenwriter, but uh, he says in the movie, the difference between us, you practice gymnastics, I practice everything.
Mm,
And like, wait a minute, that threw me back for a moment. What do you mean practice everything? Is this some never ending self improvement program? No, it's when we practice something rather than just do it. Most of us do the dishes, do our homework, do our work, and so on. But when we practice, we're actually the what changes the quality of that is we're trying to refine or improve what we're doing.
mm.
How many of us practice signing our name? How many of us practice walking across a room, breathing, sitting? These ordinary things of life, again, they bring us back into that moment. So
Beautiful,
I'm practicing speaking with you right now.
beautiful. This reminds me of something that Coach Phil Jackson used to tell his players when he was coaching the Chicago Bulls, which was the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Yeah.
And that one sticks with me.
Actually, Phil gave Way of the Peaceful Warrior and another of my books, Body Mind Mastery. He gave both those books to Michael Jordan and any of the team uh,
Okay.
who were interested back then. He actually endorsed Body Mind Mastery before he started writing his own books. So I was kind of part of his lineage. And it's really nice to have a major sports figure like that and coach who is tuned in as I became when I was a young coach, uh, kind of a Zen approach
Mhm.
to sports and the potential
So what
of
I so
sports.
what I hear you so what I hear you
Yeah,
saying is
you were
that
saying.
you were single-handedly accountable for the Bulls' success in the '90s. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, I saw that video series Last Dance about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. That was
Right.
a fascinating team
Yes.
and era. Um, well, maybe not quite.
That's special though, like, what a what a testament, what an honor that someone like that is honoring your work and sharing it like that. That's beautiful.